What if I told you that the common advice, to simply go silent, to cut her off and expect her world to crumble, is fundamentally flawed? You've been led to believe that no contact is the ultimate weapon, a way to reclaim your dignity and devastate her ego. But the harsh Stoic truth is this: your silence alone is anticipated, it's predictable. It's a reaction she likely expects and has already braced for. In fact, your silence might even confirm her choices, strengthening her resolve rather than shaking it. If your goal is deeper, meaningful empowerment, mere silence won't suffice. True power isn't found in punishing another, it's found in mastering yourself. Stoicism teaches us that control over oneself is the greatest form of power, far superior to any external attempt at revenge or validation. When she left, she didn't merely leave you alone, she left you with questions. You question your worth, your identity, your very understanding of loyalty and trust. But remember, this questioning isn't weakness, it's the dawn of self-awareness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The obstacle becomes the way." Her departure isn't your downfall, it's your awakening. Ask yourself, what were you seeking from her that you could not provide yourself? Stoicism guides us to see clearly that our happiness, validation, and self-worth must come from within. External validation is fleeting and unreliable. Her departure revealed your dependence, highlighting the importance of becoming self-reliant in every emotional aspect. Your newfound solitude is not punishment, it's liberation, a chance to reclaim autonomy over your emotions and life choices. This journey isn't about petty revenge, nor is it about proving her wrong. It's about proving to yourself who you truly are, independent of anyone else's validation. Stoicism teaches us that external actions of others hold no true power over our internal peace unless we allow it. Her actions exposed your attachment. Now your task is to sever that dependency through disciplined self-reflection, rigorous emotional mastery, and deliberate growth in your character. Seneca warned us, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Her leaving might feel catastrophic now, but reality dictates that your worth was never contingent upon her presence. Instead of indulging in imagined scenarios of suffering, redirect your energy into cultivating virtues like courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice. Become the man whose silence is no longer just the absence of noise, but the embodiment of strength, control, and emotional sovereignty. Your response must go beyond silence. It must be transformative. It involves building a life so rich and fulfilling that external disruptions become mere ripples on the surface of your inner tranquility. Learn to detach emotionally, not to inflict pain, but to reclaim genuine peace and power. The Stoics remind us that the only things within our control are our perceptions and actions. Focus on these, and you become invincible. Welcome to Stoic Thinkers. In today's episode, you'll gain deep psychological mastery and learn the refined art of emotional detachment. Not to harm, not to manipulate, but to reclaim the immense power within your Stoic core. We'll explore practical Stoic strategies, insights from ancient philosophers, and actionable guidance to fortify your mindset against emotional turmoil. If you're ready to transcend rejection and truly shift the power dynamic, hit the like button, subscribe, activate notifications, and affirm in the comments, "I am beyond rejection." 1. Break the spell. You're not missing her. You're missing who you thought she was. That version of her, the loyal partner, the sweet voice, the soft promises whispered at midnight, was a projection, your projection. You built a goddess in your mind while ignoring the red flags at your feet, the silence you're drowning in right now. It's not grief over a person, it's withdrawal from an addiction to potential, to fantasy. You're detoxing from the story you wanted to believe. She didn't vanish, she exposed herself, disappearing without closure, responding only when convenient, breadcrumbing your emotions just enough to keep you tethered, but never close. That wasn't love. That was emotional manipulation, dressed in lipstick and nostalgia. And here's the hard truth. If someone can discard you without hesitation, they never valued you in the first place. She didn't break your heart. She revealed where you lacked boundaries. She exposed how quickly you gave grace. how long you stayed after respect left the room. So don't mourn her, study her, not to hate her, but to understand yourself. Because the real betrayal isn't what she did. It's how you kept rewriting her behavior as love, just to avoid facing the truth. Break the spell. She wasn't your soulmate. She was the mirror, showing you where you still needed to heal. 2. Withdraw your supply. No contact isn't power until your energy leaves with it. You can stop texting, you can delete her number, you can even tell yourself you're done. But if you're still watching her stories, if you're still checking her last scene, if her name still triggers a reaction inside you, then you're not really gone. You're just performing distance. You're quiet, but emotionally available. And that's not no contact. That's covert supply. Understand this. She doesn't miss you. She misses what you gave her. The validation, the pursuit, the sense of being desired, needed, central. And as long as you remain emotionally entangled, even in silence, she can still feel you orbiting. Your obsession, your longing, your hope, it lingers in the air like perfume. But when you pull the plug on your energy, when you stop caring, stop hoping, stop watching, you starve the very thing that feeds her ego. Because women don't panic when a man is silent. They panic when he becomes unreachable, unreadable, unaffected. She expected you to rage, to spiral, to post vague quotes, to ask mutual friends about her, to stay stuck in the cycle. Instead, you gave her nothing. No drama, no closure, no explanations. And that silence, when laced with true emotional withdrawal, becomes unbearable. Not because it hurts her heart, but because it threatens her ego. Your indifference tells her you no longer matter, not as a lover, not as a memory, not even as a lesson. That's how you flip the power, not through petty revenge, not through silence alone, but by making her realize she no longer has access, not to your time, not to your body, not even to your mind. Withdraw the supply and watch the illusion collapse. 3. Become untraceable. You want to crush her ego? Then stop giving her a blueprint of your pain. Right now, she knows you. She knows your triggers, your rhythms, your reactions. She knows that if she posts a cryptic quote, you'll see it. That if she shows off her new happiness, it'll rattle your peace. That if she disappears just long enough, you'll come crawling with closure questions. She knows your moves because she taught you the dance. So here's what you do. Disappear from the map she's memorized. Not just physically, but psychologically, spiritually, energetically. Become unpredictable. Start posting differently, or stop posting at all. Start moving like a man who's no longer performing pain, but evolving in silence. Let her mutual friends stop mentioning you. Let your name go quiet in circles she still checks. Let her search for signs and find absence. And if she tries to re-enter, don't block her, don't argue, don't even engage. Just redirect with poise, power, and precision. Because nothing hurts more than watching someone you thought you had power over become untouchable. You're not seeking revenge, you're building mystery. Mystery breeds intrigue, and intrigue, when laced with silence and transformation, dismantles ego faster than any angry text ever could. She expected you to spiral. She expected the old you. Instead, she finds a man she no longer recognizes, a man who's no longer cracked open, a man whose presence she can't predict, access, or manipulate. That is terror. Not because she lost you, but because she can't track you. Become untraceable, not to hurt her, but to rebuild you. 4. Transform in the shadows. Silence is not enough if you remain the same man she left. If your habits haven't changed, if your routine is still built around missing her, then your absence isn't power, it's paralysis. You want to make her ego crumble? Become unrecognizable. Not with fake glow-up games or attention-seeking stories, but with real, relentless self-transformation done in silence. While she posts thirst traps and tries to bait a reaction, you're upgrading your mind, your money, your mission. You're sharpening your focus, building your body, raising your standards. No pity parties, no revenge bodies, no watch me win without you captions. Just growth, quiet, ruthless, real. Let your absence echo with purpose. Let your silence whisper, I've evolved. Because here's what she expects. She expects you to grieve, to wait, to be frozen in time, still hoping, still hurting. But when she checks back months later, maybe directly, maybe through someone else, and sees a man reborn, not broken, that's when the ego shatters. Because now the question isn't, does he still want me? Now it's, would he even recognize me as his type anymore? You didn't move on with a rebound. You moved on with intention, with class, with clarity. You used the pain as fuel. You turned heartbreak into horsepower. That's what hurts her the most. Not that you left, but that you leveled up without her, transform in the shadows, so that when she finally looks back, you're gone. And the man standing in your place would never settle for what she offered. 5, seal off the exit she left open. Most women don't panic when you walk away. They panic when they realize you're never coming back. You see, they don't always leave because they're sure of something better. Sometimes they leave because they're sure you'll stay available. She left, but she left the door cracked. Just enough to return if her new thrill fades. Just enough to test your loyalty from a distance. Just enough to make sure you never fully move on. So if you want to truly crush her ego, close the damn door, seal it, lock it, and throw away the key. Not with bitterness, but with finality. Don't stalk her socials for updates. Don't send closure texts. Don't post cryptic, I'm healing quotes to lure her attention. Do nothing, say nothing, just vanish. And when she tests the waters again, through a like, a message, a random, hey stranger, don't bite, don't flinch, don't even acknowledge. You don't need to block her, just become emotionally extinct. Because here's the truth most men never realize. Women rarely regret losing you right away. They regret it the moment they realize you've become unreachable. Not because you're playing games, but because the version of you who tolerated crumbs is dead. You're not just silent, you're done. You're not trying to prove a point. You're living a new story, one she's no longer part of. That's not ego, that's evolution. And when she feels that, when she senses that the chapter has closed and she's not getting a sequel, that's when the ego finally breaks. Not from your silence, but from the brutal truth. You've outgrown the woman who thought she could return whenever she pleased. 6. Transform pain into strength. Pain is not your punishment. It's your initiation. Betrayal doesn't mean you were weak. It means life handed you the raw material for transformation and asked, what will you build with this? Most men collapse under pain. They drink it away, smoke it away, distract it with other women, late nights, or fake healing posts. But not you. You sit with it. You face it without flinching. And then, brick by brick, you reconstruct yourself. The nights you couldn't sleep, you used them to study. The appetite you lost, you used it to discipline your body. The tears you held back, you turned them into reps, routines, rituals. You stopped chasing closure and started chasing excellence. This is the part she never expected. She thought you'd break. She thought you'd spiral. But instead you became dangerous, not with rage, but with resolve. Because real power isn't proven through revenge. It's revealed through reinvention. Now when she sees you, if she ever does, she won't recognize the man standing where you used to be. Because the man who was broken by love was buried, and in his place stands someone forged by the fire she lit. Let her witness your evolution, not through petty posts or performative healing, but through the silent excellence of a man who used pain as fuel and never looked back. That's how you win. That's how you rise. And that's how you make her realize she didn't destroy you. She accidentally built a better version. 7. Become irreplaceable. She left because she thought you were replaceable. Another man could offer what you did, maybe more. More money, more charm, more attention. She believed love was a market, that you were just another product. So don't chase, don't beg, don't compete, transcend. But not by flexing lifestyle highlights or upgrading your wardrobe to impress her. That's reaction. That's noise. Instead, cultivate what few men ever master: stillness, discipline, depth, presence. Because here's the truth. Most men are easy to find, but rare is the man who speaks with calm and commands with silence. Rare is the man who doesn't flinch when he's tested, who doesn't fold when he's rejected, who doesn't lose himself chasing people who never deserved his loyalty. Become him, the man who holds his frame, who doesn't need her, because he's built a world so rich, so focused, so grounded that no one becomes the center of it, except him. And when she sees that, when she realizes you've stopped reacting, stopped proving, stopped playing, that's when it hits her. She can't find this again. Not in the next guy, not in the rebound, not even years from now, because she didn't lose a man. She lost a standard. Let your absence haunt her more than your presence ever did. Let her carry the weight of knowing she walked away from a man she'll never truly replace. Not because you punished her, but because you became unforgettable, by never needing to be remembered. 8. Evolve silently. Real power doesn't announce itself, it arrives. You don't need to post your healing journey. You don't need to share gym selfies or money wins or vague "I'm better now" quotes. That's not growth, that's performance. Because true evolution isn't loud, it's surgical. It happens in the shadows. While everyone thinks you're broken, while she assumes you're still licking wounds and replaying what ifs. Instead, you're studying, building, stacking skills, reconstructing your body, your mind, your mission. No applause, no audience, no ego. And that's what makes it powerful. Because the man who evolves silently becomes unreadable, and unreadable men become dangerous. She won't hear from you. She won't see signs. She won't even get the satisfaction of knowing you're doing well. Until one day, she stumbles across you, and the man standing before her is a complete stranger, sharper, calmer, stronger, detached, operating on a level she never thought you could reach. Without her, she won't know how you got there. She won't understand when it happened. All she'll know is this: you didn't move on, you moved beyond. Let that be your revenge. Not your success, not your words, not even your silence, but the haunting realization that you rebuilt yourself and never needed her to witness it. 9. Allow her to witness. Quietly, don't block her. Let her watch. But from a distance, like a stranger peeking through a window they no longer have the key to. Most men block out of pain. They want to erase the memory. They want to silence the ghost. But you're not most men. You don't need to erase her. You just need to outgrow her. Let her find you. Not in her inbox, but in glimpses of a life she's no longer invited to. Let her scroll through stories she can't reply to. Let her see the subtle evolution. The glow-up you never announced. The wins you never flaunted. The life you quietly reclaimed without ever mentioning her name. You are no longer angry, no longer broken, no longer hers. And that's what breaks her. Not the silence, not the glow-up, but the powerlessness. The realization that she can watch, but never touch. That she can wonder, but never know. That she can long, but never return. Because now she's just another spectator, another name buried in your followers list. And she knows, deep down, she had front row seats and still managed to lose access. Let her witness your evolution, not for revenge, but as a silent mirror showing her the cost of losing a man who never needed to shout. Your subtlety becomes your weapon. Your distance becomes her torture. And your indifference? That's what finally snaps the last thread of control she thought she had. 10. Forgive for dominance. They told you forgiveness is for peace. They lied. Forgiveness is for power. Not the kind that screams, but the kind that releases. Because the highest form of control is no longer needing any. You don't forgive her because she deserves it. You forgive her because she's no longer relevant. Anger keeps you chained. Resentment keeps her alive. in your head, in your heart, in your story. But when you let it go, not out of kindness, but out of indifference, that's when she truly loses you. She expected bitterness. She expected passive aggression, cold shoulders, vague captions, block numbers. Instead, you gave her calm, not fake zen, not spiritual bypassing, just quiet, surgical detachment. She doesn't occupy your prayers. She doesn't get real estate in your mind. She's not the villain in your story. She's not in the story at all anymore. And that's what shatters her. Because ego can fight anger. Ego can fuel on resentment. But ego cannot survive indifference. Forgiveness isn't saying, I'm okay with what you did. It's saying, you no longer have the power to define what I become. So let her wonder. Let her see the peace in your eyes and question how she ever mattered. Let her realize you didn't just let go of the pain. You let go of her entire existence in your world. You don't remember the betrayal, not because it didn't happen, but because the man she betrayed no longer exists. That is dominance. You've reached this point not by chance, but by choice. The choice to rise, to transcend pain, to reclaim your power without noise, without begging, without looking back. You thought silence would be enough, but now you know. True Stoicism demands transformation, not just the absence of contact, but the presence of unshakable discipline, detached clarity, and evolved identity. So if you're ready to stop reacting, to stop bleeding for those who never deserved your loyalty, if you're ready to become the man she can no longer predict, control, or even reach, then rise. Right now, hit the like button, subscribe to Stoic Thinkers, turn on notifications, and drop this in the comments. I am beyond her. Let it be your vow, your declaration, your new standard, because the truth is, she didn't lose you when she left. She lost you the moment you chose to rise above her, and that's something her ego will never recover from.